What's up, everybody? Eric here, driverlineup.com, world's luckiest steering wheel holder. I have to apologize. I didn't do a video yesterday, and there were some comments going, hey, where's your video? When you say you're going to be doing daily videos and you don't, prepare to hear about it. So I want to show you guys something real quick. Look at this. I don't know if you can't read it. It says, danger, this dog has a gun and refuses to take his medication. It's on one of it. Jenna put that on one of our fences, and I think it's hilarious. It's a very indirect way of saying certain things. Anyway, back down in Texas, drove down here. Man, it's super early and it's already hot. But drove down here Wednesday evening after I badged out at Prime Orientation. So I kind of took yesterday off, and I'm gonna be hitching a ride on one of my trucks back to Springfield. So I had to bring my car back down here. So anyway, but in this video, we're going to talk about why I chose to go back to Prime Inc. Because there were a lot of you making recommendations, a lot of good recommendations. Sorry, the sun's right in my face. So that's what we're going to talk about here. Be right back. So I want to show you guys one more thing. If you're new to this channel, you probably get really confused with a lot of my videos, because most of my subscribers have been following our story for a long time. So we kind of pick up in places where we've left off on other parts of the story. But real quick, I want to show you this. Look at this old thing here. This is like one of the coolest things. I've tried to drag it out so that I can move it somewhere by one of our gates, but it's super heavy, super heavy. And we've had people who've seen it who want it, and we're like, nope, that thing's pretty cool. The house that was here, which is it's about 30 years old. We think that was here long before the house was. Anyway, why Prime? So we've got friends that have left Prime for one who leaves comments right now. He's driving on he's on tour, you know, with I can't say the name of the artist. Very big artist, and he's on tour with them right now. Left Prime and is making great money. I know some guys down here that are running sand and running fuel in Texas and oil, making super great money. And all those are great options, but really ultimately, first of all, my trucks are at Prime, so there's that. And it doesn't mean that I have to be at Prime, but that is a big connection already, because my company already pulls freight for Prime Inc. But really what it comes down to, I think a big part is security. If you look at, let's take Landstar. We have friends at Landstar. They're pulling Landstar freight. Go look this up on FreightWaves. Don't just take my word for it. Go look it up on FreightWaves. I'm constantly plugged into FreightWaves. There's a lot of analysts there and just a lot of good information. And Landstar themselves, this is not some analyst saying this is what's going on with Landstar. This is what Landstar said. Year over year, I think it was either revenue per truck or loads per truck. I think it was revenue per truck, is down 18% year over year. So, you know, a lot of these carriers especially if they're not hauling a lot of refrigerated freight, are kind of in a struggle bus. And I know some Landstar folks are probably going to pop in here and say, oh, it's great. You know, it probably is for you. It can, you know, it's same with Prime. For every 3 trucks at Prime that say it's a struggle right now, there's going to be that one that says, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. It's great right now. Could be. Just because one truck is struggling doesn't mean the one next to it is. I'm just telling you what Landstar is saying. And let's see, we've known people that pulled for USA Truck, I think it is. I was in class with someone who just came from CRST, and I can tell you without a doubt that there's struggle everywhere, and the struggle appears to be greater outside of the Prime circle. And I think that could really be chalked up to the power and strength of Prime's contract freight, A, and B, the buying power and negotiating power they have with their fuel contracts. I think those two are just like, I just don't think there's any competition. There's competition, of course, but nobody's doing it as well as they are. In terms of mega carriers, especially with refrigerated freight, that's a big deal to me. Now, there's some things that I've been seeing over the last couple months that I want to talk about in future, very near future videos, next week when I get back on the road, that do concern me. I said the other day that there's good and there's bad. There's some things that concern me. For example, what I'm noticing with all 3 of my trucks over the last few months is that there's not the number of customers is not as diverse as it used to be. In fact, I think I said in a video a long time ago that it's very rare that you would haul the same customer, you know, to do the same load within a month, because someone had asked, hey, is it different? Is it variable? Is it diverse? Are you always doing something different to kind of keep it exciting? And I was like, yes, we rarely haul the same load twice in a month. You know, you're always encountering a new customer, a new experience, new type of freight. That has not really been the case over the last few months. In fact, I've got trucks that are now doing the same load like every other week. Same trip, like same customer pickup, same drop off, same deadhead. And so it seems like we're becoming a little bit reliant on fewer customers. So, you know, and not that hasn't happened before, that is, you know, like we have an amazing relationship with Tyson, for example. And Tyson will help us when they want to help us maintain good capacity, and we'll help them when they need help in some area, or like rates or something like that. So it's a very like, hey, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. And it's very healthy. But it seems to me that right now we're relying on just a lot fewer customers. We used to do a lot smaller customers, little bakeries and stuff like that. Those are not, they just don't seem to be having as much freight right now. So that does concern me. But in any event, the way that Prime's contract freight is working is rather protective right now when it's kind of a struggle bus in a lot of places. So I feel like I'm bloviating, but that would be my first major point, is I feel some security there. And if you go back in older videos, that was one of the main reasons that I chose Prime to begin with. I was trying to find a company that I felt could have some decent insulation against economic downturns. And Prime, with its decades old relationships in freight and being refrigerated, being that it's food, was something I felt secure about. So the first thing. The second thing is, you know, Prime just makes it so damn easy. And I know it's going to make me sound lazy. Reminds me of, there's some other YouTuber out there that I haven't watched the video. Someone sent it to me and told me this person just trashed me and, oh, he's lazy. Yeah, okay, whatever. I've been working my ass off this whole time. Just because I haven't been making YouTube videos doesn't mean that I'm drinking beer and sitting in a recliner. I don't drink anyway, but you know what I mean. It's hilarious. In fact, I've been working a lot harder than anyone who's been driving a Prime truck all this time. But saying that Prime is easy doesn't mean I'm lazy. What I mean by that is that there's just a lot of things that I don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about brokerage. I don't have to worry about freight contracts. I don't have to worry about, you know, trying to sign up with fuel cards for this or that. I don't have to worry about where am I going to get my tires? What kind of deal am I going to get on all the maintenance for my trucks? My state, you know, highway fuel taxes, reconciling settlements, all that stuff. I don't have to worry about any of that, you guys. Not like the maintenance that is involved on my part in running 3 trucks is so minuscule. So that's a big piece. I don't want, people ask me, why don't you go out and, you know, run freight for this or run freight for that? Because I don't want to deal with any of that. I don't want to deal with permits, especially with 3 trucks. Licensing, the highway taxes, maintenance, you know, trying to get fuel discounts, fuel surcharges, billing customers. I don't want to deal with any of that. And I don't have to with Prime. It's all taken care of. And I've said it before, when people say, oh, well, Prime gets, you know, 28%, 27%, whatever it is of the contract, and you're getting ripped off. Well, it's not that Prime takes that 27, 28%. It's that that's what I pay Prime for all the things that I get, which is the ability to go in and get an oil change at a pretty damn good discount, to be able to go in and get tires, to get things worked on, to go buy all my additives and coolant and all that stuff at a pretty big discount. I've heard people bitching saying, oh, it's not really that cheap. Yes, it is. I guarantee you, because all 3 of my trucks get their stuff from a Prime terminal. I promise you, it's substantially cheaper than if you were to walk into a truck stop and buy all that stuff. So I don't have to deal with dispatching my trucks. I don't have to deal with trying to find them freight. I don't have to deal with even their maintenance schedules. I don't have to call them and say, hey, when is your next oil change due? I track all that in the app. And not only that, I get notified. If it's the APU that needs service, I get notified. If it's a chassis lube that needs to happen, I get notified. I get all that. I don't have to do anything. They've got great terminals, great facilities, amazing facilities, second to none. And anyone who's left Prime will acknowledge that. Their facilities are second to none. Terminals are just incredible. And there's more coming online. We got a new big one up in Minooka, Illinois. It was said the other day that one is coming to Dallas and Georgia, which one is badly needed in Atlanta. I hope they're building a terminal in Atlanta, because we need a place for trailers to hide in the cut, and we need a place to park in Atlanta. So please, please, please. Anyway, big brand new one in Salt Lake City. They're doing construction, doing a lot of work on the one up in Pittston. So facilities second to none. So those are really I think the 2 big reasons. It provides a sort of comfort level. And even though there's struggles and things to be worried about, at the end of the day, man, with Prime, I feel like all I need to do is run freight. Like, that's it. I don't have to worry about anything else. I just need to get to customer A on time, pick up the load, go to customer B on time, drop off the load. I don't have to own trailers. I don't have to insure trailers. I don't have to do maintenance on trailers. I don't have to do any of that. Like it. And I know there's other places say, well, you know, just a little extra work and you could go here and you could make a few more bucks. Maybe that's true, but I just like some peace of mind about it. I don't want to have to worry about all that stuff. And at the end of the day, there's great money to be made. There's still a lot of opportunity. Long-time subscribers know Prime has been very financially, economically productive for me. So, you know, why would I walk away from that? I have an amazing fleet manager. Like my fleet manager, I'm not trying to blow smoke up his ass, but I'm just telling you, man. And he doesn't play favoritism with me. I just know him. He knows my wife. He worked with my wife when she was working there at the terminal in Springfield. We know the things that we can give him shit about, and he knows the things he can give us shit about. It's just a good relationship, you know. So I just, like, if I'm gonna drive a truck, it's gonna be with Prime. It's gonna be where I'm comfortable, where I'm secure, where I feel good about the freight, where I feel like it's relatively easy to go out and just focus on moving freight and not having to spend 3 hours of my 10-hour break trying to figure out state fuel taxes and all this crap. I can just go and do, you know? So those are really my main reasons. I guess, you know, if I wanted to add to that, just the ease of ability to buy a new truck. And, you know, there's probably gonna be some trolls in here on that too, but I've done videos on it. You know, buying a truck through Prime is just as competitive and just as logical as trying to go out and get financing and buying one at a Peterbilt dealership. I've gone through the numbers. I mean, I've crunched it. It's indisputable. It's funny because back when I did that, the reason I did that, I think that was like 2 years ago, year and a half ago, but the reason I did that is because there were always comments and saying, you're just getting absolutely ripped off and Prime's just bilking you and fleecing you for going through the lease purchase program, and you're an idiot for not going and you know, buying from a dealership through a bank. So I laid all this out in this extensive video of how you're actually coming out a little bit ahead because you get the APU and it's, you know, a brand new truck that you're custom ordering. You're actually coming out a little ahead by buying through Prime, because you're getting their buying power. You're getting better pricing. And of course, none of these 4 or 5 people who were commenting on every single video commented on that video, not one of them. So, but you know, there's other things like that I love about the whole operation. So, you know, and I guess the final thing I would say about it is I just needed to go back and drive one of my trucks, and I'm gonna talk about that in in a coming video, and I'll give you a little taste of it. Right now, what's absolutely killing us is fuel. The price of fuel is, even with the power and strength of our contracts, the price of fuel is destructive. So I saw a video the other day where another YouTuber, guy who I like, was saying that, you know, the revenue per truck he's basically saying, you know, it's still, the revenue per truck is still what it was a couple years ago. So it's not like it's dropped. And I just kind of bit my tongue because yes, it's true that 2 years ago, we would consider 5,000 in revenue to a solo truck to be pretty stellar. What was not said in that video is that we're paying 2 and 3 times as much in fuel. So the revenue's still the same, but paying 2 and 3. So if you're paying $1,000 a week, and it's just, I'm just pulling this number out of my ass, but if you're paying $1,000 a week in fuel, 2 years ago at $5,000 in revenue for the truck, then, and let's say you were making, $2,000 in that week, net. Well, now you're paying $2,000 in fuel, or maybe $2,500 or more, but you still have the same revenue. So what's going to happen to that $2,000 check? It's now a $1,000 check. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when I left and still had my trucks running, it was very logical. But when freight kind of came down while fuel skyrocketed up, you can kind of see what can happen there very quickly. So that's why I just need to come back and run one of my trucks. Anyway, this video has gone long, but I wanted to, just give you guys a kind of an overview of why Prime, because I'm seeing the comment, why Prime? There's like this combination of glad you're back and you could have gone and done this, but Prime's what I'm doing, and those are the reasons why, and I'm completely comfortable with it. I have no concerns. I think I'm confident it was the right decision. Boy, that sun, man, when the sun comes up in Texas, dude. Now, I have a much greater ability to deal with the heat now that I've spent several months in a yard truck, yard dogging in 110 degrees with no AC than I did before that. Before that, I'd be outside in 15 minutes in 105, 110 and hate my life. Now, I deal with it much differently. So I do appreciate that acclimation. Is that what? There's like de-acclimation. Anyway, you know what I mean. All right, guys, be safe, make good decisions. As always, drive to thrive. Talk to you soon.